hopping into the action, but we're finally ready to kick things off here. It's going to start on Inferno. We're ready to light up this series here, and it's going to be Why Not and Vincent to take it away.
It's, Why Not FPS 01?
Okay, man.
It's alright, I got you, Exner.
Whatever. Nobody ever gets me. Nobody understands me.
I think I get it.
A lot of utility being spread between two players. The ones to buy it up. Gogo trying to get his teammate quietly into the apartment since no Taneki has walked it out and about to the other side of the steps, so all for naught. He just hightails it back, tells the crew that the British are coming.
Or French. Yeah, in this case. That's a deep cut. I appreciate it, but very few will. Off the back of that contact made, 3D Max just slow it down a little bit. It's creep away from A towards the B site where they're going to get elevated. Lucky doesn't, oh my goodness, end up seeing Levantino until he peeks his head up and then gets it removed. Surgical precision from Lucky to bring them back in. It's the bomb tossing the flashbang to send them forward a little bit further, pulling the second player back over to side, and instead the A attack ready for 3D Max.
Beretta's sit, wait, hold Zara. Exercise to walk it in. It's a hard enough clear to where else is he going to look. Very fundamental for them at this point in time, and nothing going right for CYBERSHOKE at any turn.
That is a full dismissal. Not a single kill. Nothing working out for CYBERSHOKE. 3D Max, that's an impressive round. Impressive calling, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, right direction. They pulled the rotates and everything.
That's the kind of dominance 3D Max, a team that rep after rep, sure, they'll look great as they continue to get them under their belt, but victory, a substantial win, not in a best of three, Vincent, but a win in any regard in some form of a tournament following what the Yala Compass Summer 2024 event was for them. Find those consistently in which they've been proving that they've been worth an organization, or at least in some capacity. One thing that's been evading them, obviously maybe not as big, even so, is CCT. 12 and 13 being that third, fourth, as we were talking about, the both of them, the pair of them, needing to bring themselves one step further and beyond. They're playing up against some solid teams, albeit, even still. I wouldn't call that an excuse by any stretch for a team looking to be the best, looking to be better, and just good. And a lot of these to where they're expected to probably meet that third, fourth mark. Exner was saying he's one of his at least contenders, maybe not absolute favorites, but got to be one of them. Be able to do that much, and as they clear out this B-bomb site, they flesh out that nothing's going on in this direction, and it will be CYBERSHOKE still stuck in towards that A site, something we've already seen one time today to where there's no contact made.
Yeah, I do think you're right. I think that there is very clearly an expectation that 3D Max should be at the forefront. They should be vying for wins, even if it's not, you know, every single time, but making these runs through CCT just as one of the mini tournaments that they're a part of. Like, they're a team of that caliber. That's a nice kill. Won't mean much of anything if 10, not exactly the upgrade that they would be hoping for, but even beyond that, Gravity hoping to get a little bit more, maybe some money. Nothing so successful. Levantino actually going to keep that? I guess keep the money strong. Don't have to invest into anything outside of the utility. And in fairness, utility looking pretty good for at least a few of these CYBERSHOKE players. Fenneman, though, goes up, no armor, and then even gets... The fact that he sticks around whilst that Molotov is down, considering he was glass cannon, is absurd. And he pays for it. Pays for it with his life. It's an all-in strategy that I think CYBERSHOKE get a little bit caught up in at times. Mention the more make some sacrifices for utility or set his teammates up. That not as true for the rest of the squad, who are, as we talked about on the desk, just impressive on an individual level very often. But it is a pullback, a clawback a little bit as Nataneki evens this up, rights the ship.
Utility looking a little light for 3D Max right now to make much else happen, to be honest with you. It's going to have to be Gravity and Lucky in tandem to be able to send out the flashbangs and smokes as juggling out the nades. It only makes sense that Gravity could be the one to line it all up at one time. Out goes one of the two, and the A site looking prime for the taking as they want to get revenge on Notaneki, who had smitten them a few moments ago, and he's on his lonesome. This round is effectively over, honestly, with as much space as Joko's gotten.
As well, the other quote-unquote A defender, if you can even call him that, Stenik so far from actually having impact in that moment. And it might look like a winnable 3-on-3, and I guess technically there's not utility to hold CYBERSHOKE back, which might be the critical piece. But big note is that Maka still has the AWP now posted, where both Levantino and Stenix are going to be headed. Double nade doesn't do quite the damage they were hoping.
3 HP is still pretty good, though, but seeing as they only have the one kid on Levantino, having to deal with all these players left, but then also ensure that they either have it or he's the one who's going to be able to get up and towards the site is going to be not the easiest, but they kind of peeking late. I don't know why. They had a perfect opportunity to save, in which Levantino had already backed up towards Boiler's side. His teammate instead under the balcony sticks around, and then a late peek from Boiler, or rather Library, just as well. Well, it's curious that the MAC-10 of all three of those weapons is the one to fall out.
I think a little bit greedy. I think that's the answer.
You do know the answer to almost everything.
I wish I did. I wish I was a knower like that. But I think that's one of the moments where CYBERSHOKE can let some of the maybe not the pressure of this type of game, but the pressure of them being kind of the underdogs get to them. In general, they can get a little bit greedy there in those moments. Beautiful flashbang. Breaks up what was meant to be the crossfire exercise. Here's the footstep to confirm further that Nataneki is still around, but he's falling back. He the only man actually available on the A-bomb site to play defense. That nade should be chunky, and it down onto Finneman. Onto Levantino, excuse me, and it's Finneman who takes flag through the wall. Even steps forward, and the AWP farms up another.
Walk in. AKA 47, and Lovicus with his makes it work, and a dink from the 5-7 even to boot as his ammo is running low in the fully automatic. Taneki nowhere near. Cool little knife glove combo though.
And he's got the Hot Rod MP9?
Huh?
And he's got the Hot Rod MP9?
Yeah, that's pretty. It's the double combo. He's got it all kitted out. He's got this good plans, and he doesn't even get the chance to peer around the bend of Banana. He's already being held by an elevated Joko low, still confident. Did you get to hear the voice comms on the ESL production the other day, where he made note of the fact that one of the players had red gloves?
Yeah, and called that it wasn't the normal setup because he doesn't play that site. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's actually really cool. He's so smart.
That actually fun fact, it was against Liquid that I heard this. It was, I want to say Rain, who was communicating, because Kerrigan put out the full video of the comms from their comeback against Liquid. And off the back of NAF dropping a molly inside of Palace.
Oh yeah.
Rain called it's the exact, he called it's the same hit, same A hit. Because I guess he heard that in the previous round. That was super cool as well.
I saw somebody like break down that whole game. I forget who it was.
It was frozen, I've been told. My bad.
It was frozen under.
My bad.
Who told you that?
The voices in my head.
No credit.
Yeah. Big fan of the voices named Colex from McHenry.
Oh my god, I don't know why I thought Lovicus was the one who got that
too.
second kill, but I just like feasibly not possible is it for him to find a stray bullet that far wide.
Say that. But there was that one round from Wonderful, so anything's possible.
Anything?
Anything. This is the first time 3D Max are really going to be required to make a comeback in this round. For all up until this point, everything's gone to plan. CYBERSHOKE have not been able to post up early resistance in any. That no longer true, and look at this, another kill does damage onto Gravity. Like, this guy is just unstoppable on Banana this round, and it's gonna cause 3D Max to save. They don't really have another choice.
Well, there goes that much. 3D Muck. 3D Mucks? 3D Max.
3D Mukbang?
Oh. Good. Go for that. You love a good large meal if I can even stomach it. I think that there's a lot they've done in this game. That round maybe stalls out, but all's fair in love and war. And in war, there will be some back and forth. A battle in which they may have won, but the war itself obviously not having yet concluded, not even close. The series with so much left to go through, and Inferno proving to be the Frenchman comfortable in the beginning stages, but with weaponry brought back out for CYBERSHOKE. One where they may be even able to reset their opponent's money just that bit further beyond. It's Noteneki with a hard read into window room. Nets them their first and frag. Out over the top. It's Joko decimated by utility this round.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually just a great call from Moteneki. First and foremost, they've been 3D Max, that is, really active in that area of the map, really working on their control in that area, and it's been CYBERSHOKE struggling for the most part because of it. I think Moteneki taking preemptive ideas because of that. Through reads Slovicus like a book, and Stinix dropping one more. He falling, Gravity gonna follow suit. The Stinix over the top. Constant is the aggression from CYBERSHOKE. They never stall out. Stinix again and again.
He was unrelenting. He was honestly causing a little bit of panic in the minds of these players, more likely than not. Making him go a little crazy. I gotta learn that nade. What a beautiful HE, dude. Have you seen that before?
I don't know what the lineup is, but yeah, I've seen the throw.
Just seen everything, but never throw them in our games.
I mean, you know,
Then I
that
see
they
it,
exist.
I learn it, I throw it.
Yeah, okay. So you're
I
just lying.
improve. You stagnate.
Yeah, but you're a coach. You're supposed to do that. I have no dog in the fight as a player. Or,
Aren't you trying to go pro? Aren't you in like this really good open team?
First of all, it's an IM team.
So
Second
you
of
already
all-
made it then, and you're not. What's going on?
Second of all, listen. Give me a couple years.
Okay. you're still young.
Still young. A cool
Yep.
25.
I mean, that didn't stop Roy or Jax.
Kind of did. A little bit.
What do you mean?
Well,
made
Jax,
their bread.
no.
Roy got his money and made it out. Won a couple tournaments even. It's got to count for something.
I'll allow it. Oh, Levantino bested. This forward position down Banana has been CYBERSHOKE's victory these last couple of chasing after lost causes in this round. They lose out on the initial. Levantino falls and Lucky doubles down, gets another one. It's CYBERSHOKE set to save after just 40 seconds.
The nature of the beast, my friend. Times just how it goes. Just how the cookie crumbles, and it's crumbled pretty quick into the favor of the T side. With not exactly a snowballing start by any stretch, but one to where the back and forth from CYBERSHOKE hasn't really pressured them, hasn't really stopped them from going for their typical shenanigans and taking up residency in Banana and dealing with anything that CYBERSHOKE have to throw their way with consistency is going to be the bigger piece to it, as they feel desperate in having to go for re-aggressions and refrags, the swings that get them nothing. And honest and truthfully, that last pair of very disheartening.
Yeah, I think that as much as I don't want to be too critical of CYBERSHOKE this early on, those 2 rounds that they did win, it was a good read, and they had some good utility to set it up. I don't feel like that's something we're gonna see all that often. Finneman he thinks that fire doesn't affect him, and he's just wrong.
1 HP or 2 of these players and through the wall that he's gone and dealt with, but okay, Lovicus just snaps right back, finds all 3 kills at Banana and says, guys, this is how you do it. Watch me. Monkey see, monkey do. And this, having to do very little else, will CYBERSHOKE, thanks to his heroics, arriving under the scene in due time.
Are they gonna see? Oh, they do see. Oh, they do. CYBERSHOKE didn't have the bomb there, but they walk down T steps and they get a peek at it.
This is about to be an exercise hood classic.
If Finneman had stuck around where he was, I would have said yes. So many absurd things happen in this round. That kill, that's like the 2nd or 3rd one Maka's gotten through that wall. Spamming with the op, which, you know, one time, okay, fair enough. But he's done it a couple now. And then Lovicus just walks forward, gets a double, seemingly out of nowhere. And that's what, you know, they did last round that I think I was pretty critical for, and I think you were in agreement, kind of chasing after lost frags. Lovicus almost does the same exact thing there, and it works, and that's why they do it.
Maybe good, sometimes maybe not.
That's not how it goes.
Hit. Exposed over the top side of the smoke, in which Joko does deal with following Gravity's loss of life, but now as he's been isolated with the bomb actually at Archway, kind of a confusing moment to where now Levantino can zone off even longer than that. It's Maka and the crew who have gotten control of the A site, who have gotten through lane, but it is going to be crawling with CTs over on the other end of that wall, in which they need to be able to siphon them off with only 1 flash to do it.
Yeah, it's that one flash. That's the key problem that 3D Max are going to have to solve. There's so much utility here. Stenix has another smoke. If he wants to deploy that.
Dude, honestly, this 1 flash could be, like, devastating, though. If it lands, it'll blind more likely than not to Venom, the one left unblind.
That's a good point. There is not a lot of time left. That's a devastating timing on that smoke, though.
Okay, well, I don't know what they're waiting for. They just can't get into the bomb site and plant now.
Just a flash, come on. Oh, and now the molly too, and
Just too late.
not to be overly critical.
You
But-
already said that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it again.
You just keep
Yeah.
saying it over and over again.
But like everything was on that flash, and it's just that was a bad flash.
Yeah, I mean, it was also 9 seconds left.
I know, but like, I guess it's not the worst case scenario. You get the guns out, but the wheels, you're not loving it, and it's not a lot of utility. Surely something quick has to be in the call here for 3D Max.
I mean, quickly enough, they've gotten up towards car side. Lovic is burning. 28 gets away with his life only, barely. I don't know if he had vision to when he was being burnt to a crisp, and now one shot straight through the smoke will find him. His teammate, not much longer for this world, but thankfully so 3 at the B site. They've got another to be able to play defense, but Stinix falls immediately following his attempts. It's Veneman who can only do so much, and although they've rotated over in time, a smoke not blown and an HE off the wall will not kill the default planter, but Lucky astray at 2v2.
That was so far away. I know he was 1 HP, but it seemed like it shouldn't have been possible. Still, post plant active. Taneki gonna might be ending up the perfect call given the situation, but not Taneki. If he takes this correctly, he's sending it in. They're so blind, absolutely stunning, and Finneman gets them both.
What
Utility is
down.
what absolutely stalls them out there.
That 1 HP kill from the HE is monumental. Absolutely tide-changing. Having a body up just makes everything so much more questionable. You need to be aware of all of your different angles, and effectively, Vincent, at that point, you're playing a gambling game as to whether you're looking in the right spot or not on your first clear.
Yeah, and then the flash from Matsuneki is perfect as well. It somehow blinds them both.
It's got that upgraded flashbang. Do that
Doubly
in CS
blind.
now. Yeah. Oh, I mean, how are they ever supposed to be able to wreck no flash and no nade and no molly? It's just pure confidence to walk down from the hold of Fenneman by his side. 2 kills and a dink on a Joko is enough.
Yeah, I do give Maka a little bit more to work with in this round. Fortunately, he's not the one with the armor. Maybe toss that over to Lucky.
Don't tell him what to do.
It wasn't telling him what to do as a suggestion. You
He's
know?
the captain of this team. I think he knows what he's doing.
All right, that's fair.
He's also their statistical best player. He gave it over to Lucky anyway.
So now who's silly? You? Maka playing a little bit of sacrifice right there.
Destruction.
Let him come away with it. I mean, Jiggle beats him out into the open. It's a freebie. And let's go into play. Joko stays alive, and a smoke dropped in front of the Opper. Gonna give him some possibilities to play around, but it also opens up the proceedings for 3D Max onto a plant. He's no...
What?
Okay. I thought he was looking for a no-scope, to be honest. I was like...
What were you like?
That feels like the vibe of Finneman right now.
Fenneman vibe.
Have you seen the way this guy's playing? He's playing so confident.
He's playing like a little guy. He's playing like a little
What
guy
do you
over
mean
there.
by that? What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
Yeah, he's playing like a little guy. He's playing like a guy. No.
No, I asked you to explain.
In the words of Tommy Korn.
Another deep cut.
World needs to know of him. Comments.
I saw him playing that all day yesterday.
You serious?
Yeah. Not all day. But
You actually sat down for hours upon hours just watching. I would. I do. Actively, but even still, we're be here for at least another hour in time, as this game not yet done, only on map 1, potential 3. Or Exercise and Joko are split from the rest, splintered from where the push was stocked, but they still have the bomb if there is a silver lining to any of this, but it doesn't look like it's going to come to matter. That's the half. Unless Exercise can do something absolutely stunning. And weird trajectory. And weird flipping.
And he's dead. CYBERSHOKE locking in a couple of big wins there late into the half. Look at the 1-4-0 rather at the start of this half, and not able to do too much of anything towards the back half of it. It's that CYBERSHOKE star power, their individuals that we talked about in the pre-show, I think really coming to form, showing off why we were hyping them up, why I was saying I think they can win just about any game they're in. Well, just ultra aggressive in a lot of these rounds. Towards Banana, we saw in the last round down mid, it was almost like a mid and Banana crunch. Like 3D Max just didn't have any area to play.
It's always a kind of annoying way to lose a round, I guess. It layman. Not for you, Vincent. Never for you.
You saying I'm like not a blue collar kind of guy?
You're speaking too many big words from me right now. Anyway, Stinix rushed like yesterday's garbage into the trash as Maka takes the opening proceedings into hand. Nowhere of the B-bomb site, although being stacked by numbers. Soon going to have to send somebody rotating back in a quickly. Gravity the one to realize he's got a flashbang. Could actually pose to be a major threat to CYBERSHOKE if he gets here to maybe toss it into Palace, or Apps rather, where Maka stands and sits, where he's already found the first. He'd shut out an entire prong of their attack if he had. Not going to be the case. Flashbang's been utilized. It's Maka who will burn, but sitting inside of the flames decides to fight ahead. Favor, but nothing too following that much. But Joko, a madman, battles back in through the smoke to leave Lucky with an all but winnable 1v1 with a 28 HP, you know, to Neki with a bomb to plant in seconds. He'll need to scale towards this site, make himself known, and when he does, Lucky can just walk it out if he so pleases. A tap, a fake, a 7-second mark now to where he's got to go for that full stick, and when he comes off it, the gun can't be cocked in time.
A big round for 3D Max to win. It's Maka who is the real show early. This is the opening pick. Absolutely stunning. He can get another one from pit side. Needed quick responses and does. And then, like you said, Joko sort of mad going through there. Crazy play. But he had the perfect timing. CYBERSHOKE were already in scale mode. Thought they had the site, and Joko plays denial. He's up the clutch. For Lucky at the end. 3D Max pistol round that's going to help equalize the losses in the back half of the first. That said, this is an interesting investment for Finneman. They have a couple of Glocks, a couple of Deagles, and then the Scout. Feels like if you're essentially doing a hero rifle, you don't want to do the Scout. Particularly not on Inferno.
I do like the Scout, but I can't help but agree. It could certainly come back to bite. They've given no other options. They'll be shred down to pieces. P9 going to be happy with that one. Scout following no impact lay upon the floor to where Lovicus plays activation. just seconds between to find the head of one and a dink onto another to where damage further beyond the single kill they had grasped to hold to. It's all there, but takes too long a time to where 7-7. Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. This one proving to be competitive. I mean, that's what we could have wanted.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the CyberShoke individuals show up, and 3D Max actually, as much as I was talking up what I thought would be their ability to adjust to that, I think struggling in the first half to do so.
Yeah, and this is still kind of scares me, Vincent. It still kind of scares me for this being their map pick. This is quite possibly what I, in my mind, had built up in terms of a storyline to be like their shoe-in. Like the one that I expect them almost 100% of the time to be able to walk away with in a series that I want to be either competitive or dominant. But going to Ancient, I mean, I love watching CyberShoke's Ancient, to be frank. I think Fenomen is somebody who can be super active there.
I mean, I also think that Stenix is particularly good on that map.
Sure.
So, I tend to agree.
The Wonder Twins.
The worry's not yet deep in the back of my mind yet. 3D Max, they have control still of the CT side. This is the first gun round where CyberShoke are going to be able to test that control, see if they can wrestle it from their grasps. And it's going to be an apps pop of sorts. In fact, it's not even a pop. It's just walking in, full contact maneuver. This is actually...
Somebody needs to get around that box to be able to deal with him, though. They're just not scaling into the site any further beyond that. And how has Gravity been allowed to play so aggressively, but also use the cover given?
I mean, realistically, they just didn't have the staff to do that. They didn't have anybody. That is the, you know, in the surprise factor, the strength of this contact play. They didn't have that second guy up porch side. Not only that, though, I need that box to figure out what it's going to be. Because sometimes it's just actually paper thin, and you can't do anything around it. Other times, like right there, it's so well constituted. Defense. Yeah, like, what?
So well constituted. I love that.
I'm not saying that spam should have killed Gravity. It shouldn't have. But, like, none. Other times, people are like, yeah, just 2 headshots through the box. It's easy. It's fine.
I'm just left wondering, maybe the lane player in that last round was just waiting for a pit swing, perhaps? Not sure, but Maka, I don't even know how the hell he's gotten here. Lucky, a little more understandable, but oh my god.
They both went through banana. Lucky and Maka, I think, both went through banana.
Like 10 seconds apart.
Yeah, I know.
So silly. All right, maybe I'm not all that worried now that I'm getting a giggle and a chuckle out of 3D Max against the CyberShoke buys.
Yeah, this one less of a possibility. But Gravity, who, I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad in the first half, but really finding footing in the second. Unlucky, one might say. Lucky spam through the smoke as Joko follows through. Maka, an absurd jumping shot with the MP9 to follow that up, and I think he's gonna try for more. The spam battle continues. Is Maka? No way. He gets away with all of that. Can fall back, but he's gonna continue sprinting away. CyberShoke not done yet as they move forward. They get the early indicators that 3D Max had evacuated, and they're absolutely perfect on the call. They've heard Maka move away. And he even goes so deep because of that information. I think 3D Max will probably just call a save off the back of this. I can only imagine. Gravity Exercise, they're so far away. Haven't had any inclination of what was going forward there. Maka, on the one hand, doing so much to bring 3D Max back from down 2 players to then unfortunately going for a bit of a gamble where he's sprinting away from B, showing that nobody is home. And CYBERSHOKE, when they continue to move forward, it's just nothing's posted up in resistance at all. It'll leave CYBERSHOKE with the round victory, one that they probably should have had from the beginning. An impressive couple of spam kills, Finneman and I think Levantino, the two of them tag teaming up to find both Lucky and Joko, I believe.
And there lies one strike where now CYBERSHOKE still feel like they've got within striking distance of their opponents to a close onto their pick. It's classic round of 16 fashion, a game that'll take us to the wire. And in one of the best ways possible, seeing as both of these two teams right now, I don't know how you feel, are honestly looking to be playing some pretty solid Counter-Strike. I mean, on some rounds it gets a little silly, but like, at the same time, it's not silly in the sense of like bad maneuvers and bad plays. It's more like just stepping up to the plate, it feels like, individually more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, very similar juxtaposition of styles, though.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about in the last series, where 3D Max, a little bit more, I would say, traditional.
Okay.
They've got a little bit more of a game plan to CYBERSHOKE. I mean, their whole game plan is to use these stars that we've been talking up to great success, and that is, like you said, one of those things that we've been seeing a lot of.
Yeah, and it's been fun. Having a pretty good time with this one as well, and right now is 3D Max have two players at the B bomb site, need to call upon Gravity, who had been such a consistency for them in the last couple of rounds prior. We can prove to be the same here and now with a single flash to try and support them in their hole. Joko not getting cleared, not detected, blinded, but still able to locate No Taneki and drop off the top. And it's Gravity who's given room once more for a multi. Goodbye Lovicus, goodbye Fenneman, and hello to 11-10. 13-second clutch. He's down the bomb. With a flashbang to go along with, even still in isolation of a dual shoulder scene. Don't know if it was, but the banana player to set him up for greatness. It was Levantino who needed to do so damn much and simply can't battle himself off the backside.
Yeah, talking about some like fundamentals successes, that's one that's a bit of a failure. Flashbang was perfect. Everything was set up right, but just missed the check on first oranges, unfortunately. And it's one that they pay the price for. Joko, like you said, tracking, he had like just a shimmer of vision between the flashes. Chain flashed to hell and back, but got a little bit of vision in between and caught the kill in the process. And does enough delaying that his teammates get there to clean up the pieces. Here's the repurchase from CYBERSHOKE. They're not done yet, but this is a little bit scary. Exercise comes back for more. That is absurd. Incredible work as Gravity falls low, but CYBERSHOKE now working from a deficit.
Working with all that they can, and a flash from Lucky as it actually clips right over the top side of that barrel. Wait, what? I didn't even see that kill from Levantino. He sends one back even further beyond. The one to play support, to play setup is gone.
Oh my goodness. Maka knows that he's got to make the play, knows that he's got it all on his shoulders to try and equalize this. You mentioned that the numbers being more even is so important for a retake and its possible success rates. Maka making that a little bit more doable, but still a long way back. And unfortunately, Finneman on the other side of this push from Banana means that Gravity will fall. And 3D Max will evacuate the area, move out of the B-side retake attempt. Victories here for CYBERSHOKE. They're not sustained, but now they can maybe create those chances to sustain victory.
There's really no telling anymore. I mean, following that first exercise in mid, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I mean, CT side. opening kill like that so early on, no snap from CYBERSHOKE. It's got to be something really nice to have, but I mean, the reactionary play following that from them is just to pop down Banana and flash, maybe just a couple of in-game feet off the money to be able to blind up the player, both walking up Banana as well as at the barrel. I mean, after that, it's kind of a done deal.
I don't know if there's a need to take that fight once you have that advantage. But I think it's a matter of things go right on A, but the call on B was there. Lucky was set up to do that from the very beginning. They just didn't cancel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You gotta stop. It's like the third time. Also, I want to say maybe not half, but approaching half of Levertino's kills are through smoke. He's done it like that. Smoke spam is doing some incredible work for him.
Just got a follow from D on Twitter. That's pretty cool. I don't know how that came about, but I'll take it. Small victories, but big victories on the line for these two here, with Inferno being the start to what could be their quarterfinals berth, and right now between one round of one another. Maka's AWP that's been pretty decent, pretty solid, but up against Fenneman's, hard to make heads or tails of who's going to be the more impactful by the finish now, with Maka able to hold the line. Name known. Walk up and through. It's Maka with a tight gap in between the half wall and the wood plank. A smoke in front of them even to follow, a man advantage that can simply not be pulled back from CYBERSHOKE without a work of miracles. Not again. Not another shot through this wall, Vincent.
Fortunately, it falls on deaf ears. The shot rings through, but nobody seen, no heard. Exercise position relatively known. He tosses a flash in, and it's Gravity who sets him up for success. A tighter angle, and still victorious to remain for CYBERSHOKE as they move forward. Leventino, position that Exercise won't be aware of until now, pulls the trigger. Now seen and gone. Stenix 1v5 attempt would be too much to ask. Escape, unlikely, but he might find a way to do so.
I think it's
really
reasonable to ask this of him with only 3 seconds left.
Really can't go down though after time.
He's quite literally playing with fire there. Ooh, tack timeout as well. Thankfully for them, and honestly thankfully for the sake of this game and what it's provided for us. This has been gun round after gun round, response after response. They keep clashing.
Crazy. What I will say for 3D Max's credit, they have handled some trying situations very well. The CT side has actually looked quite good. Shoko, pick him up into position. He's still here and maybe sticks around a little too long. Maka coming in to provide coverage, and that might be enough. Oh my goodness, the flick.
Through his teammate? He shot through Lucky. But he doesn't need to shoot through any more players as they've evaded his line of sights. But again, falling victim to the same mistake they had made just seconds ago. It's Maka in for too much. He wants more. And when he wants 4v1, he instead finds his team now down. But in men, it's still equal on this B bomb site to where a 2v2 effectively will see Lucky on low HP and potentially abusable.
Yeah, but Gravity adds some additional firepower to this. He's been great when it comes to holding station as an anchor on A. Overstepping, though, is Lucky. It's a constant problem we've been talking about is 3D Max moving forward, but the trade will put numbers such that 3D Max will have the advantage, and Gravity trying to play a denial for the plant, but now Taneki gets those figured out. Exercise coming in. Now rendezvoused with his teammate. Taneki's position, no, not was too many questions before. Flashbang through. A Molotov that he steps forward, but reliable, as I mentioned, will pick up a couple of kills required to have 3D Max take 12.
This has been a real big game coming out from Gravity, who, ever since his introduction into the roster, hasn't really been like a stud by any means, but he's certainly not been anything close to like poor or bad. I think he's just been average enough, but you know, obviously looking from just before his pickup, he was a player that didn't really have a whole lot of experience. He wasn't really given opportunity beyond where he sat at, I believe at the time was Gen 1. And frankly, wasn't looking all that great, wasn't looking all that good. Participating in the off-CCT qualifier and sometimes even main tournaments just really couldn't bring that same level. But elevated and then some, particularly here, but needing to do a whole hell of a lot more than what he's done in these rounds prior to bring back a 2v5 in the first 15 seconds. It's been decided, so it seems, unless, what are we doing? T-Smoke, goodbye Levantino, bomb not yet planted, and don't tell me Lovicus goes in for more. He'll meet the trying hands of Gravity once again. Spotted, seen, takes a smoke out, a molly instead, and finds the duel. That could have been catastrophic.
It really could have. The fact, though, that Maka is so slow about this is kind of clear where his head was at to begin with. Keeping an AK close by, just in case it's necessary to try and keep this AWP alive. But it's a classic for CYBERSHOKE. Double kill for Finneman to open up the proceedings, and Stenix towards mid after first contact or moves ahead. That's why CYBERSHOKE have that puncher's chance. Yeah, punch hard and fast, and oh boy, the money is really not great. Maka can drop. Exercise fortunately had 7k, so he should be able to drop one. So we're just going to be seeing one MP9 or pistol, or they're going to save around it. This is an interesting call if they do end up saving. Because Lucky and Joko, I mean, they are at min loss right now. 1450, 1600. And I think the Exercise selling the gun because of that fact. So that he can make sure to drop at least one of them next round.
Maka can scrape together. Smoke up. That wall has been his friend. And it proves to be again, as for the third time now, I think he's taken somebody over topside that smoke. Might be only the second, but even still, even on the T-half, we were seeing him find his impact in it. So don't test him. Please.
Yeah, CYBERSHOKE have been very consistently going for that as well. And I think that's Maka attention to detail showing. And so we're playing refrag. Nicely done. And Maka all alone. He's going to be fighting a very long battle to try and gun. Normally, you might want to not test the waters here, but this means so much to 3D Max for them to hang on to this AWP. They could technically afford one next round, and it would be at the loss of a bunch of other weapons.
One bullet left, I think.
Yeah. He's going. What a read, actually. Must have heard him stomping up.
Saw the vision. He finds that kill on top of it all. this is the breaking point, boiling point, the limit. Maybe, just maybe, being met by 3D Max as they take a technical timeout for the time. Not one of tactical variety, but no time to waste. Everything that you need is a big water bottle.
Nah.
Small Lucky.
I'm a no. I'm a fellow big water bottle enjoyer, so I will defend at all costs.
I didn't say that was a bad. You always. Everything I say just has to be negative inherently.
Yeah, you're a negative kind of guy.
That's a
all.
big water bottle. Oh, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a big water bottle? I use a big water bottle, huh? You got a problem with me? Like, okay. So we're fighting. Small water bottles for life. This post was made by the small water bottle user fan base.
It's a small fan base too. See, you were mean and Lucky left.
Some thicker skin, pal.
So attack pause. It looks like I think it was attack. I think 3D Max took attack just before that as well.
Look, he's got to go get more big water. He ran out.
He had a little bit left.
Not enough. This could be overtime, Vincent. He's got to stay hydrated.
True. It's a real possibility at overtime. CYBERSHOKE not all that far out. I will say it's been a Finneman masterclass in a lot of ways. Like statistically, I guess, you know, he's doing very well, but it's not insane. But the impact that he's had is what is really impressive.
Ready and raring. Rev up those fryers. It's one more to go maybe for the map. It's also one more to go maybe for an overtime. As we've been saying for the last like minute and a half if you haven't been paying attention.
And to you folks, welcome back.
Welcome back. MP9 for Joko. Obviously a weapon that has its uses, Vincent. It is not a useless piece of equipment. Oh, but this is good. Haven't seen this. Haven't seen Maka elevated. Need to blow the smoke, and everybody dodging, everybody weaving in between, and no one to fall victim to it. And it's quickly back into the bomb site setup for him, but not so much from the nade pulled at lane side. It's exercise gone.
This is a great reaction from CYBERSHOKE. That early forward position that 3D Max got, those ideas, good, but as soon as they disassemble that boost, the audio cue is given away. Space, it's back towards B, and Joko, prime position for that MP9. It has its use, as you mentioned, and used to perfection. Nearly there is Maka able to walk forward and connect onto the shoulder of another. With Stenix gone, 3D Max might be able to claw this back, but Finneman, okay, just a little bit too far forward as he's felled. Not to Neki, a 1v2, the bomb dropped in the hands of Lucky.
Classic flash, but smoke in face and a smoke behind. It's a jump from Notaneki, not through yet, and he's not expecting Lucky to have made his way past that to bypass the piece of equipment that is not in fact a wall, but a smoke in which he can phase